Welcome to Kykar Wins Fury. As far as our opening hand goes, we've got. Whew, man, yeah, this is not good. So let's go and mulligan on this one. Typically, want to have. Yeah, I think we can make this work. I'm about to say, you want to have some sort of line of play to go for. We'll keep on this one because we at least got a turn one ponder. And let's go ahead and put Mausoleum Wanderer on the bottom. As much as I like that card, yeah, I think we like that kind of on the bottom. So we're going to click OK on that. And I'm going to go ahead and lead off with Ponder. That way we can hopefully find ourselves into a second land. And that'll put us on Talisman of Creativity and Conviction. And then hopefully we can get some good little spirits on the battlefield. But playing against Damia. And which reminds me, I need to play Damia. In fact, well, I'll kind of explain that in here in a second. Let's go for Island. Let's go for Ponder. Let's see what we can come up with off the top part of our library. Looking for a, there we go. I say just looking for another source. So, and actually, I kind of like all of these. So we'll go ahead and put Dragon Shift on top of our library. That's going to be the first one there. And also, Ponder Alert. If you didn't know it, there's a dude in the background. Look at that. He's been staring at you the whole time. Pretty creepy, right? Let's go Windscarred Crag on top and then Wasteland on top. Nope, not going to shuffle that one. Draw into Wasteland. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass turn to our opponent. So we're playing Kykar, Winds Fury, Flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with Flying. Then for an activated ability, sacrifice a creature at red mana to your mana pool. Playing against Damia, Sage of Stone, Death Touch. Skip your draw step at the beginning of your upkeep. If you have fewer than 7 cards in your hand, draw cards equal to the difference. So we do have Talisman. We do have Wasteland on Wild Growth. If they get a few more enchantments on there, I'm not super wild about just being like really aggressive with land destruction like that. So that's just how I kind of play. So that's just kind of how we're going to do it. So I guess at this point we're going to go for Talisman. I think that'd be pretty good. They'll still leave us open for op, but more than likely we're going to go for Talisman next turn. So, and then we're going to go and pass turn to our opponent. Yeah, we have Wasteland in here basically to stop Maze of Ith style effects, Glacial Chasm, different things like that. And hey, and our opponent just said they are a friend of the channel. So shout out to our opponent. So hopefully we end up making this for a day of the release. But yeah, like I mentioned, I'm not going to, strategically, if there was money on the line, yeah, the best line of play for us to go through would be pop that Bayou because it's going to cut them off Colored Source and that extra Wild Growth mana. But since we're playing for fun, or at least I'm playing for fun, that's what we're going for. Let's go Windscarred Crag. Yeah, that'll be good, because we just want to get ahead on mana. We're going to get a life gain that's going to put us up to 31. We're going to go for Talisman. And that way, we're just really set up for Kykar. Because next turn, what's going to end up happening is we can go for Kykar. That still leaves us open for Opt, where we can get an extra land on the battlefield. Not a land, but at least get an extra spirit token in response to some sort of spot removal. And then we've got another win condition with Dragon Shift. So pretty much the only thing that we need to find right now is another card draw source, or at least kind of start getting some sort of way to kind of help get these tokens on the battlefield. Whether it's Young Pyromancer or Saheeli, we've got some pretty good options. So Narset's Reversal. So we can go for Kykar. We get Kykar down, or if we want to, we can actually go for Narset's Reversal to kind of catch. If they would have had like some sort of Cultivator Kodamas region, they probably would have gone for it last turn. Let's just see, to kind of test the water. So let's just go for Kykar, see what's going to happen out of this one. So we're going to tap down for colorless. We do want to leave up blue and red. So let's go red, blue, and then we'll tap down for white with this Talisman. So there we go. All right, so we're going to have Kykar enter the battlefield. That's going to give us the option to go for Opt with a Talisman of Creativity. And so we thankfully were able to kind of dodge a counterspell from our opponent. Kykar is on the battlefield. So if they do end up doing something, we might still end up going for Opt in response to that if they have some sort of removal spell. But if they just simply pass the turn and we don't see a removal spell, then I feel like the coast is clear. So now that we've got down Kykar, we're in a pretty good spot. This Unified Wheel is going to get better and better as the game goes on, especially just going for something like Opt, because now we've definitely got way more creatures in our opponent. We could even just go for Unified Wheel next turn with one creature. So let's go ahead and go for Opt. We're going to go for the one blue mana activation, get a spirit token on the battlefield. And the thing that I love about Kykar so much is that this just getting a 2-for-1 to commander is one of the best feelings in the world. So that's going to be I think I'm okay with that. So we're going to leave Wooded Foothills on top. That's going to be the land draw for the turn. And then hopefully run into something else the following turn. So let's see what our opponent's got. We are completely tapped out. So if they've got anything they want to go for, now would certainly be the time. But yeah, with Narset's Reversal, I had a good game earlier. I was recording Kykar, but then I ended up Narcissus Reversal on Nature's Lore. And in my head, I was thinking it was the one that could grab like a mountain, but it could grab everything but a basically a forest. And then yeah, so I went for Narcissus Reversal on a Nature's Lore, and then I was like, all right, we're gonna ramp, and I was like, oh. Yeah, then and then the game chat said Jolt 539 fails to find a forest, and of course we're not going to find a forest when playing Kykar. That's not going to do any good, and so I felt a little silly about that. So sometimes you run into little mistakes like that, games like that where I just stop the record button because I feel so frustrated. But the game ended up actually being a really good game. We ended up beating Slivers, and so our opponent a little bit mana screwed, but I'm trying to get better about it when I make a goofy mistake like that, not just completely shutting the video off because I don't know, it's kind of fun. So we do have impact trimmers. I think at this point we'll just go for impact trimmers. That's going to be red and then colorless off of Wasteland. That's going to give us an extra spirit token. Unfortunately, we're not going to get that spirit token into the battlefield with impact trimmers, but going forward, this is a great way for us to kind of nickel and dime our opponent for a little bit of damage as the game progresses. So anything else? No, we're going to go and pass the turn over to them. So we have impact trimmers on the battlefield. Now we're getting like a 3-for-1 off of our spells. We're going to have a token enter the battlefield from Kykar, which is nice. Then we're going to have an extra damage tag along. Then we get a body. So if you're on the fence about building Kykar, highly recommend it. You know, even if you're a spike or something like that, you play a lot of modern, you play a lot of standard competitively. Kykar is a good commander for you because what's going to end up happening is you can definitely build Kykar in like a combo centric way to where, all right, we get spirits on the battlefield, sack them, draw a bunch of cards, and win the game. But if you really want to build just kind of like almost a cube style deck, you can definitely do that with Kykar. Just get down Kykar, get down some really good, the converted mana cost on this deck tops out at like 5, which is just such a nice feeling. And that's like Dawson of perfection. So really good thing. We got Damia coming down. This is definitely going to be a good option for Unified Will. If they untap with yeah, if they untap with that is not good for us. So let's still go and leave up Narset's Reversal. So we're actually going to go Talisman of Conviction. We're going to go Island. There we go. We're going to go for Unified Will. That'll give us the option of countering Damia. And even cards like Unified Will, you can use that in addition to your normal counter package. If you hear Sturgill in the background, that is definitely Sturgill. He's my wife's having normally I take him for walks in the morning on the weekends, but my wife does it when I record, so he's probably hearing my voice and being like, hey, let's go for a walk. So we might have to go do that here in a little bit. So do apologize if you hear the barking. That is Mr. Wiggles himself. I call him Mr. Piggle Wiggles. Let's go and Crackwooded Foothills. When he was little, when he was a pup, he's about 5 months old now, and I'll have some pictures up for y'all to see. But when he was about 5, when he was like very first got here, he'd always like shake his butt whenever he got out of the kennel. And so I just started calling him Mr. Piggy, and he'd make this weird grunt noise too, which is just like he's real excited to see him. And so I just started calling him Mr. Piggy, and then that turned into Mr. Piggles, and then Mr. Piggle Wiggles. So those are all approved nicknames for Mr. Sturgill. And but yeah, it's been fun. I've never had. It's been a long time since I've had a dog. I had a dog in high school, and I very greatly enjoy Mr. Sturgill. So he's a very good addition to our family. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can't go for a dragon ship. I think we just go for just a really nice value play. We're going to tap down Island. Let's tap down Steam Vents. Is that down? Do we want to end up going for... We might be able to dragon shift it. That's going to be 4, 8, 12, 6. That's not going to be enough. So let's do this. So we're going to go for Talisman. Let's go for Frantic Search. We're going to grab this last 2 colorless. It's going to give us an extra spirit token on the battlefield. Yeah, we maybe could have dragon shifted with this Frantic Search, untapping some lands. But I feel a little bit better about kind of setting... Ooh, look at that. Remand. So let's discard 2 cards. We're going to get rid... I think at this point, we can get rid of Narset's Reversal. And yeah, Command Tower's fine. We got some good counter options. So let's untap these 3 lands and untap Steam Vents. There we go. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still not enough for the dragon ship, but at this point we're just kind of just getting some tokens on the battlefield. So let's go and swing in, and that'll also make it to where we can go for dragon ship pretty good next turn. So let's go and push in. That's going to be 6. It's going to put them down to 17. And then we'll go and pass turn over to our opponent. But yeah, it's been fun raising old Sturgill. He's 5 months old. And for those of you who don't know, I announced it during one of my pre-releases or one of my streaming events, but my wife and I are expecting. So that's another reason why we got the dog, is so we could coordinate on another living being to make sure that we can keep it alive. And we're both going to be very capable parents, but it's one of those, we've kept Sturgill alive for 5 months now, so we feel pretty good about our chances of having a little kid. We have a little girl, so I'm super excited about that. She is, I've always wanted a little girl, really bad. I've always wanted little kids. Ooh, so let's see. So even if we sack our creatures out, just to keep, so we can actually just straight up just Dragon Shift on Kykar to have Kykar stick around. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or we can sack them out and get an extra spirit token. Yeah, let's try that. Because what we do is we remand, then they recast it, and they pay some extra life. Either way, we're still going to have to go for Dragon Shift. So let's do this. I think I kind of like this. So we're going to sacrifice a spirit token. We're going to lose those either way. Let's go remand up top on Toxic Deluge. Because what we're going to be able to do on this, we're going to be able to cash in a little bit of extra spirit tokens entering the battlefield, and we're just going to get a little bit of that extra impact tremor damage. So it's going to put them down to 13. We're going to bounce Toxic back to their hand. That's going to, ooh, well, there we go. We run into Arcane Denial. So that's a way that we can just basically straight up just counter that spell. And sorry to our opponent. Opponent said they're a friend of the channel. It's always hate when I have a super heavy counter hand, but you know, something we got to play the hand that we've got. So we're going to go for Arcane Denial on Toxic Deluge. And this is pretty much textbook of what we're trying to do. So get a little extra impact tremor right there. Get rid of Toxic Deluge. We're going to be able to cash in some card draw. They're sitting at 9, so we can basically just kind of overload, even if we have to sacrifice some of those spirit tokens. And let's let our opponent cash in a card draw. We're going to draw an extra card for us, and let's see what we rip into. Ooh, Boros Charm. Yeah, I think we can actually just Boros Charm Kykar. That's going to be 6. Yeah, that'll be straight up just lethal right there. And then even that. So let's see what we draw for the Intangible Virtue. Yeah, let's go for the Dragon Shift line of play. I kind of like that. So let's go and push in. That's going to be 8 coming across. And then, even then, we can just straight up just Boros Charm. 4 damage target. Yeah, let's just let that damage go through. Yeah, so we force Boros Charm, 4 damage up top. It's going to be red, then white. That's going to be an extra impact tremors. And then it's going to put them down to 4. And that should be enough spirit damage. That does leave them open to where they have at least 1 counter spell. But even then, in response to that, we can go for Dragon Shift to stop that. There we go. So opponent said good game. They're going to toss it up. So that should be game for us. We could have sequenced this a little bit differently, maybe with some dragons, but we're able to close it out. Here's the downside to Damia. You know, Damia is a wonderful commander. I never finished what I was talking about earlier, is that I need to rebuild Damia, but Damia definitely suffers from, if you get Damia down, you refill your hand, you're good to go. You're probably going to win the game. But if they haven't answered the moment Damia gets down, then you're just kind of, you're in nomad's land. It's really hard to rebuild after a failed Damia attempt to get it on the battlefield. So huge shout out to our opponent. That was well played out by them. We're able to kind of stop that, not stop them. I think they got the Nature's Lore. But just simply being able to just kind of stop a Toxic, even if they got that Toxic to resolve, we got lucky with that Arcane Denial. We're still going to get the Dragon Shift on Kykar to keep Kykar on the battlefield, add some extra mana to our mana pool. So there's just a lot of different ways. Simply just getting a 2 or a 3 for 1 off of your spells, or a lot of low converted mana cost spells is such a fun way to play Commander. So shout out to our opponent. Hopefully you see this video, and if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks, bye. Welcome to Kykar Wins Fury. As far as our opening hand goes, where's the snap keep on this one? Love it. We've got Temple of Epiphany, Sulphur Falls, we've got Tundra, we've got Force of Will on Pongify to stop Lord Windgrace. I love every bit of this. So let's get old Kykar popped up, and Lord Windgrace is definitely going to be a very interesting commander for us to play against. Hopefully our opponent did mulligan down to 5. So hopefully they don't have to mulligan past 5. So we'll let them get this mulligan done and then hopefully jump into the game. Okay, so they did mulligan down to 5. Let's go lead off with Temple of Epiphany. Let's get the scry going. The scurry, the fever, the insanity, the descent into Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I think that'd be good. Yeah, let's put that on top. That'll be a great way for us to refuel. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass turn to our opponent. So we're playing Kykar, Wind's Fury, Flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with Flying. Then, activated ability, sacrifice a spirit, add red mana to your mana pool. Playing against Lord Windgrace himself. +2, discard a card, then draw a card. If a lane card is discarded this way, draw an additional card. And we run into that Wheel of Fortune. So let's go for Tundra. And then next turn we're looking at Kykar. Yeah, I think I kind of like that. And then we're going to go and pass the turn. So, +2, then for the -3, return up to 2 target land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then for a -11, destroy up to 6 target non-land permanents. Then create 6 2/2 green cat warrior creature tokens with 4 swak. And if you're still keeping score at home, Lord Windgrace can be your commander. Look, he's in the command zone. So, there we go. We did cover both commanders. Give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. If you need to build your very own Kykar Spirit Squad to cheer on Kykar as you get 2 and 3 for 1s or even 4 for 1s off of all your spells, hey, head on over to MTGOTraders. Also, let's give a quick shout out to inkgaming.com. If you want to check out my merch booth, head on over there, search Jolt539 to check out my merch booth, or you can simply just use coupon code JOLT to get 10% off your order and to help the channel at the same time. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So, if you would like to contribute to the Patreon, there's a link down in the description below and get your name at the beginning or the ending of the credits. And if you can't do that, hey, no problem. Just tell somebody about the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. There we go. And now it is officially free time. We can have some fun. So let's go and lead off with Sulphur Falls. That way we're not just taking any damage. There we go. Let's go for Mana Crypt. Let's cast this and then go for Kykar. That'll allow us to start to cash in some spirit tokens off this hand, and we are definitely set up in a really good position to hopefully build up a pretty good board state. So, and out of those 3 colored sources, I did not tap down for blue, which is very, very disappointing. This is one of the worst things. You're pretty sure you tap down blue, and then Magic Online's like, no, hey, what happened to that last one? Can't skip out on that blue one. So anyway, get down Kykar, and we can go from here. Now, as far as the deck itself, there hadn't been too many changes. I did finally add Shared Animosity to the deck. That's what, yeah, we need to go for Force of Will. So we're going to go Force of Will, pay 1 card. We're going to exile Bedevil and exile Pongify. Look at that value. Love it. Kykar is going to say, not today. We need a spirit token. So that's going to leave Kykar on the battlefield. Hopefully this was the breaking point for the deck to where we can bounce back from that. We might end up going for Wheel of Fortune next turn. That kind of sounds like a pretty good deal for us because we'll basically be pretty low on mana. So let's go and choose Tails on this Mana Crypt trigger. Lost the flip. We were 0 for 1 on those Mana Crypt triggers. And then we run into Teferi's Protection. So let's go for Flooded Strand. Yeah, so we can Dynacharge and Wheel of Fortune. I think that sounds pretty good. We could try to leave up a Teferi's Protection for next turn. Yeah, let's do that. So let's go ahead and... Yeah, because we Wheel of Fortune, that'll still give us a little... We can get counter magic off of that. Yeah, let's do that. So let's go and swing in for 3. I was trying to figure out if we wanted to Dynacharge 2 this turn, but we can still do that. That'll be 1, then we go for... I just want to make sure we're leaving up counter magic, and I would hate to just miss out on some sort of counter magic from Wheel of Fortune if we just went for like a little of an easy like Dynacharge or something like that. So let's go for Wheel of Fortune. Let's go and crack Flooded Strand. That way we're not running. Let's grab another White Swords too. That'll be pretty good. But we have to shock something in. That's fine. So let's go ahead. Since we do have triple blue, let's go and grab a Plateau. Let's go for Wheel of Fortune. That's going to be 1/2. It's going to give us an additional spirit token on the battlefield, and also give us a fresh grip, which would have liked to keep that other one. Then okay, not the best thing out there, but we got delay. We got what we wanted. We wanted some counter magic, so we should be in a pretty good spot to hopefully kind of not necessarily win the game from here, but definitely generate enough value. One of the things you want to do with Kykar is you just want to be able to just basically just keep the pressure on. Even though you're going for a token build, we've got a lot of spirit tokens, maybe you're going to have young pyromancer tokens, simply just going for a wheel effect, getting down Jace, having these effects that allow you to get a ton of spells is a very good effect. So whenever lane enters the battlefield, deals 1 damage each opponent. So that's going to be Reliquary Tower. That's going to knock us down to 24. At this point, we're just basically going to hold delay for Lord Windgrace, so that's going to be our main thing. And so, nothing else. I think we're just going to go and pass the turn over our opponent. So we're going to have that Mana Crypt trigger. Let's go and choose Tails on this one. And we are 0 for 2 on those Mana Crypt triggers. And then we run into Ops. So let's go ahead and have we could go for Battlefield Forge, just get near the bat. Yeah, we'll do that. So we're going to have Battlefield Forge. Let's go and swing in for 5 in the air. That's going to knock them down to 20. And I think if we still end up going Jace the Mind Sculptor, yeah, because that'll give us an extra clue token. It's going to be Jace, 1, 2. We'll have Jace enter the battlefield. That's going to give us an extra spirit token. And we're going to definitely go for that Brainstorm ability. That's pretty much what we want to end up going for. Ancient Tomb, Talisman of Creativity. And then Anointed Procession. So at this point, let's go ahead and put Thran Dynamo back on top. Let's put Plains back on top. And we've already made the land drop for the turn. If we're going to end up going for delay next turns, we might as well just go ahead and go for a Talisman of Creativity. So let's go ahead and go Battlefield Forge. We're going to go for Talisman of Creativity. That's still going to put us on delay. Yeah, and then we're simply just going to go and pass the turn back over to our opponent. So there we go. So you can see where this is kind of the value we want to assemble with this deck. You know, Lord Windgrace is a pretty strong commander. And if they do end up going for Lord Windgrace's turn, we still have delay. And even something like delay or Unified Will, just having these, you know, low converting mana cost counter spells that are immediate answers for what your opponent's trying to do is one of the best things you can run in this deck. Because, you know, just being able to delay, even though it's a delay, you're still going to be able to, you know, if they go for Lord Windgrace, it's going to send it back to the command zone, get that commander tax going, and then at the same time, just kind of stop whatever your opponent's trying to do. So, Tunneling Geopede's going to give us a little bit of extra damage. It's going to put us down to 20. But if they're going for Lord Windgrace, we've got a good answer for that, and I definitely like going for it. Now, we do have Wear Tear in the hand, so if something does end up happening out of that, we'll try to definitely use it on that. But at this point, we're going for the full force of just spirit tokens swinging in. Now, one way that we can win with this deck is once we have a lot of spirit tokens is getting some sort of Dragon Shift style effect. That'll make it to where it's really hard for our opponent to stop that. So that's one thing that we definitely kind of want to dig with Kykar. So in fact, let's go ahead and go for Opt at this point. It's going to be 1 blue mana. We're going to try to scry our way out of this one. So just dig just a little bit deeper into our library. Let's go and put that Plains on the bottom. There we go, draw into that Thran Dynamo. This is going to be Mana Crypt. Let's go and choose Tails on this one. One the flip, we're 1 for 3 on those Mana Crypt triggers. And then we draw into Mountains. So let's go for the Brainstorm ability. We're going to just dig. Once again, we're just looking for some sort of answer. And Narset's Reversal could do something. Ooh, and the Windswept Heath, that is wonderful. So let's put Thran Dynamo back. Let's put Sea of Clouds back on top. Let's go for Windswept Heath. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we've got just enough. So it might be a little overextending into this one, but I kind of like going for this. So let's go and push in with the Spirit Crew. That's going to be 8 in the air. That's going to put them down to 12. And then once we get down Murmuring Mystic and Anointed Procession, that'll be a really good, pretty good thing for us. So there we go. Knock them down. Now, we can leave up Narset's Reversal, but I think we're at the point now to where, yeah, let's still leave up Narset's Reversal just in case. So let's go and sacrifice a spirit. We're going to sacrifice a spirit. There we go. Let's go for Murmuring Mystic. So we're going to have Murmuring Mystic enter the battlefield. Let's go for Anointed Procession. And then next turn, that'll really allow us to kind of get some good stuff. Oh, damn, we need to crack that Windswept Teeth. There we go. So we're going to crack Windswept Teeth, and then we're going to go for Anointed Procession. I guess at this point, we're getting a little bit bottlenecked on blue mana, so let's go and grab Hollowed Fountain. We're going to pay 2 life, and then go for Anointed Procession. There we go. Okay, so that still keeps us open on Narset's Reversal. I'm not entirely sure what we could stop with the Narset's Reversal, but I'd rather have it open versus not being able to go for that. So we're going to have Anointed Procession enter the battlefield. That's really going to amplify out. Basically, it's going to turn all of our spells into like 4-for-1s, I think, because we're going to cast the spell, and then we're going to get 2 spirits and 2 bird tokens. So we're definitely in a pretty good spot. Even if they just cast some sort of normal ramp spell or some sort of whatever spell, with us having access to Narset's Reversal, we're going to be able to kind of go for a really nice tempo play, get a few extra tokens on the battlefield. If not, worst case scenario, we're just going to straight up just go for a Wear on our Mana Crypt. That way we can get a few extra tokens on the battlefield, and that should be enough to close it out, because that's going to be 3 in the air, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. and then that's going to be 12. Yeah, that'll be enough. So if we actually just end up going for wear on our mana crypt, that'll kind of stop it. So Narset's Reversal is not going to stop that. So that's going to be Zendikar's Royal. We'll still end up going for that. I think we can cast both if we wanted to, if it has the Fuse ability. Ooh, that's going to be Blasphemous Act. Okay, so that definitely stops that. So is there anything that we can do? Copy target instant source spell, return it to its hand, choose new copy. We don't want to do that. So I guess at this point, we might as well just go and sacrifice some of these spirits. So let's sacrifice that spirit token. That way we can fuse. Actually, we don't need to fuse. We just need to cast the tear part. So we're going to cast tear on Zendikar's Royal. It's going to give us a few extra bird tokens. And yeah, unfortunately, there's just not much that we can do outside of that. So that does reset the board. But at this point, you know, we're in a prime position to kind of rebound from this. So it's going to get rid of Zendikar's Royal. Yeah, if we end up Narset's Reversal on Blasphemous Act, that's not going to be too good because they could simply just recast it. But we're in a good spot because we can bounce back from this really easily. We've got Ancient Tomb, we've got Jace the Mind Sculptor. And yeah, definitely lose out on the last piece of mana. There we go. Let's go and choose Tails on this Mana Crypt trigger. Hopefully we just don't lose to a Mana Crypt trigger. That would not be good. So we win that one. That's pretty good. And, ooh, an Intangible Virtue. So let's get Kykar pop back up. And yeah, we need to get Kykar going. So let's cast Kykar. We're going to go ahead and go for Ancient Tomb. I know this is a little clunky, but we need to build the board state up pretty quick. So let's go for Kykar. Okay, there we go. We're going to have Kykar enter the battlefield. Let's go for the Brainstorm ability with Jace. And we've already made the land drop for the turn too. So let's go for the 0 ability. Draw 3 cards, then put 2 on top of our library. Disenchant, ooh, Saheeli. That is definitely going to allow us to bounce back. So let's go for, let's put Mountain on top. Let's put Waste back on top. Let's go for Saheeli. And we are taking a little bit of damage, but I still want to leave up Narset's Reversal. So I'm going to have Kykar enter, not Kykar, but Saheeli enter the battlefield. And that'll still leave us on Disenchant. Once again, we can go for that Disenchant next turn. And that'll allow us to kind of start getting rid of some of this stuff. So yeah, let's just go and pass turn to our opponent. And then kick it back over there. But yeah, so once we go for Disenchant on Mana Crypt, even if they don't get anything down, we go Disenchant on Mana Crypt. That's going to give us 2 Servo tokens. That's going to give us 2 Spirit tokens. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then that puts us in the spots where we can go for Intangible Virtue next turn. And that's going to give our creature tokens +1/+1, giving us 12 points of damage. So our opponent would have to build up some sort of answer to what we've got going on. And so, and then we've still got some good answers. We've got Narsets and Disenchant in the hand. So at this point, this is pretty much what Kykar wants to do. You get down Anointed Procession, get down 2 some sort of token enablers, and then just get 4 tokens for the price of 1. That is some beautiful, beautiful magic right there. Ooh, okay, so we're going to have Avenger of Zendikar enter the battlefield. Yeah, that's fine, because I think that's still going to get, well, it's not going to be lethal in the air, I don't think. But that's going to be a pretty good amount of plant tokens. And I think they had to make the Kessig Wolf run. Yeah, so let's do this. So let's go for Disenchant on Mana Crypt. It's going to give us a few extra tokens on the battlefield. It's going to be 2 Servo tokens. It's going to be 2 more Spirit tokens. So we're going to get rid of Mana Crypt. That way we're not taking any damage from Mana Crypt. And we'll see, because I think we're still stuck on what we have on top of our library with Jace. So draw into Waste. Let's go for the Brainstorm ability with Jace. So it's going to be the 0 ability. Ooh, and then Scalding Tarn. Okay, so let's put Waste back on top. Let's put Mountain back on top. Let's go Scalding Tarn. Let's go for Intangible Virtue. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not missing something, because that would not be good. So we have Intangible Virtue. Yeah, because if we go Jace, we can have Saheeli make a copy of something else, but this is going to give us a few extra Servo tokens. Oh, look at that. That's just beautiful. Let's go ahead and push in this. And the cool thing is it's going to give them Vigilance, which is just such a nice effect. So let's go ahead and push him. I think so. What we end up doing is we just swing in with the entire crew, because that's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8. That's going to be 11 in the air. And that's also going to be 2 Servo tokens. One's going to get blocked on the Avengers in the car, but at least we eat away at 1 little plant token. So Kind of like that. And our opponent opts not to block with Avenger of Zendikar, so we'll definitely make this trade. That's going to put them down to 1, and then anything else? No, I think that's going to be it. We're simply just going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. So, as far as what we've got going on, we're definitely going to crack Scalding Tarn. That's going to allow us to get a fresh look at Jace the Mind Sculptor. About the only thing that's really going to set us back is going to be another board wipe. That's exactly what we don't want to see. That would not be good for us. And so, but you know, like I mentioned, you know, with this deck, you know, this is pretty much textbook. You know, even if we don't win, or if they have a board wipe and for some reason we can't rebuild from that, Intangible Virtue, Anointed Procession, this really shows you how good this deck is. Opponent's going to go for Torment of Hellfire. Let's go for Narset's Reversal on this. Yeah, so we end up going Narset's Reversal. That's going to give us a few extra ones. So we can Narcissus Reversal on Torment of Hellfire. Oh, look at that. That's just wonderful. I love it. All right, so we're going to copy that spell. Each opponent loses 3 life unless they discard a non-land card. So that should be a good game to our opponent. There we go. Put him down to -2. It was a very flavorful way to win the game. I think we could still fight through that. Yeah, non-land permanent. So either way, yeah, our opponent's going to go all the way down to negative. So good game to our opponent. Really enjoyed that one. But yeah, this is pretty much what you're trying to do with Kykar. You get down some sort of double token producing effect, you get down Jace, you get down Anointed Procession, Intangible Virtue. It just makes it really hard for your opponent to do anything about that because, you know, the weight of what you're putting your win condition into is in the spirits, or not the spirits, but the tokens. So when you just get a lot of token enabling effects, start doubling them up, really enables any sort of game plan that you want to go for. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.